again, I always like to speak about this case is about Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Zana Knodel, and Ethan Chapin. And we always need to bring that back, you know. Steve Gonsalves and his daughter Kaylee on the screen, and Christy and Steve Gonsalves on the screen now, and just they become sort of the face of this case, you know. When they talk about the knife sheath and, of course, the DNA, and that to me is a very strong piece of evidence. And I think to everyone it should be. Like, how was a knife sheath that contained the murder weapon in this case, how was it left on the bed underneath the body of Madison Mogan? And then for someone to say that that's not a powerful piece of evidence. How could anyone even say that? That would be incredible, right? And is there a way to attack the DNA on this? Yeah, and you heard that defense attorney say, yeah. Oh, you know, in this case, Brian Koberger's DNA is on the knife sheath. Oh, he could have touched it at another location and someone else could have left it there. But that's sort of far-fetched, right? But can a defense attorney bring that up and create doubt with that kind of statement? Yeah, absolutely. But would you believe that? I don't think I could really believe that. So the DNA on the knife sheath is probably the most powerful piece of evidence in this case. But is it the only evidence? Is it the only evidence? No, it's not. How about the digital evidence and the video evidence they have of someone driving that white Hyundai Elantra back and forth, near the house? Remember that that 3D reenactment we played? Someone presented that. Someone actually did that, and News Nation played it. I'm going to play a little bit of that now.
Here's his plan, and he now has to rethink things. He continues on to the back where he sees even more lights on. From the affidavit, we know he drove by the house 3 times in less than 5 minutes, probably trying to figure out what to do next. He finally decides to leave the area for a little while and observes the lights are on one last time in front as he drives off. Cameras show him leaving the neighborhood and exiting on Walenta Drive in this direction. It's uncertain which way he went from this point here, but we know that he is seen here at this location at 3:45 a.m., caught on a gas station security camera. Wondering if this could truly be a 2015 Elantra, I downloaded a known image of one with a similar angle of view. I then entered that into a 3D modeling software and added some lighting and then tilted the camera to get a similar angle. I then animated the image to be traveling at 40 miles per hour, giving motion blur, which ended with this result. Though not scientific, we can see very close similarities that this is a 2015 Elantra. Back to the map. We see the suspect re-enters the neighborhood at 4:04 a.m. He drives up to the house and slows down. Looking at the windows, he sees the lights are now off. Continuing to the back, he checks to see if those lights are off. They are. He's excited. He knows everyone is finally in bed, but he wants to check the front one last time. As he drives down, he's filled with adrenaline, seeing the lights are all off. His brain short circuits for a second as he clumsily tries to turn around in front of the house. It fails, but he regains composure and drives on. He's caught on camera making a 3-point turn at the end of the street to return back to the residence. He does his final drive to the back of the house. In the beginning, most of us believed the two surviving roommates, Bethany and Dylan, were sleeping on the first floor. Since then, we've learned Dylan was sleeping here on the second floor, along with Xana and Ethan located here. Kaylee and Madison were located here on the third floor. The dog was located on the third floor and the room by itself. Let's move around and see through the walls into the kitchen, to the back slider, and take a look at the
I think this is an outstanding reenactment, even the amateurishness of it is great because it sort of lets the viewer really like see inside the house and connect the dots when people say, oh, the only evidence they have is a knife sheath. And then when you watch some of this stuff, you say, oh, and look, they can't put Koberger in that car. You can't say that the person driving that car is Koberger or that car belongs to Koberger, but there is circumstantial evidence that is connected in this case that shows, yes, that probably was him, and that, yes, that is his car.
time frames. At 4:04 a.m., the suspect can be seen trying to park his car. At 4:09, approximately 5 minutes later, he enters the house through the back slider. At 4:18, he leaves the house after committing the crimes. At 4:20, he's caught on camera driving away at a high rate of speed. All of this only took 9 minutes. Let's watch what that looks like. The suspect enters through the back sliding door. He pauses at the stairs to look around to make sure no one's up. He then turns and goes upstairs. The first bedroom he stops at and opens the door, he sees no one there. He continues to the next bedroom. Here we know what happens. Downstairs, Dylan is sleeping. The noise from upstairs wakes her up. She thinks it's Kaylee playing with her dog. She gets up and goes to the door and looks out. She sees nothing there. The suspect then continues down the stairs about 3 minutes later. He then heads to Xana's room. Outside, there's a security camera picking up some whimpering, cries, and a thud at 4:17. We've learned that Xana was found on the floor, which might explain the thud. Dylan again hears something and looks outside her door. She sees the suspect. He walks right past her and leaves.